Yo, what's up, guys? So this is Haya Fayaz, ACCA affiliate, and someone who is trying to help everybody out there, writing ACCA exams. And my motive is to generally help those people out who, are struggling or those who cannot figure out stuff on their own. And I don't personally want anyone to go through what I did, because I used to do self study and I myself took a lot of time to figure out many things. I was maybe not that smart that time, and I had to, refer to a lot of lectures, a lot of free sources out there, because I personally believe that paid sources are not like worth it, maybe. So I used to do self study, and what people figure out through self study, they can't figure out through a paid source, because paid source tutor is coming, teaching, going, okay, that's it. But where is your problem solving skill? That's not developing, right? So that personally, I felt that I could develop using self study. Although I did try some paid sources, but that was just for a brief period and just for one or two exams. But I would say they were not that helpful, to be honest, because usually all they do is like record and post that out. And all of those recordings are updated, but I generally believe that there could be some issues with it. Like, I am not personally that type of person who figures out stuff. I want to figure it out on my own. So if there's anybody like me out there who is not using a paid source, and who wants to do self study and all that, please come here, look into my YouTube channel, and we'll figure this out together. And I'll help you figure it out, because I cleared ACCA 2 years ago, and all through self study mostly. So let's get started. So today's video is about how I would clear the exam if I had failed it. If April 14 was the day when the results had come up, and for example, if I had failed the paper, I had failed the FR paper, how I would redo my thing, how I would do the revision all over again, and clear the paper in my June attempt. By the way, not September, June attempt. I'll talk about September attempt as well. I would have taken two papers at that attempt, but here I'm specifically going to cover about June attempt. So now it is April 18 on the day when April 18, right? Yeah, on the day when I'm recording, and I just want to make sure that I start counting it on today's date onwards. So let's get started. Just a minute. I will share my screen. So here you can see. Okay, let me just hide it. I do. Yeah. So I have got these chapters out in front of me, and I would have personally just restarted the entire thing. And I would have forgotten the fact that I have failed the paper, I have not cleared it, and I would have redone all the things like as if nothing ever happened, because this psychological thing is important. Only then you will study as if you had never studied it before, and you will do it from scratch. And when things are done from scratch, you're like, okay, I have to thoroughly do everything so that I can practice the kit properly and my concepts are good enough for the exam. Otherwise, if you just rely on what you did previously, maybe you might fail again, because maybe you didn't get the concepts right in the first attempt. That's why you failed. You don't know. So you need to, see that through first and then go ahead. Or if it was because of time management, there could be many reasons of you failing as well. So if it would be due to time management, then of course you have to practice more. That's a different reason. But here I'm covering for those who are not having the concepts clear, because I understand FR is an exam. Most of the people who are availing for exemptions, for them FR is a type of exam which is given, which is very new for them. Concepts are new, things are new, everything sounds gibberish. What is this? IFRS standards, all of that maybe sounds gibberish at the first attempt, and maybe because of that you have to get more clear into the concepts. I'm genuinely saying concepts, because only then will you be logically able to solve the questions on your own, guys. Hear me out. You cannot do the exam kit without doing the financial statements in the which are present in the test your understanding questions of the study text. I'm genuinely saying this. I understand study text might be too lengthy and all, but I'm not saying that you have to by heart the entire thing. I am saying that you have to understand each concept. What is the big deal in understanding? Read and understand, like a storybook. You read and you laugh it out and all. Same thing. You do the same thing with study text. You read it, you understand it, whether you're in office, whether you are in school, whether, sorry, not school of course, but wherever you are, you should just, you can read it anytime. You can open the book, read the chapter, read a particular section in the chapter, solve the associated test your understanding or the illustration, because there are illustrations also in the text, study text. That's what this study text is. Everything is it's like literally the solution to your success, but you just don't know how to utilize it because you're taking it in a wrong way. I also was doing the same mistake. I was taking this thing in a wrong manner. I was considering it as some long theory book, and as a result, it was hard for me. It's not that I didn't clear the exam, but it was like, I had that thing in my mind. But then as soon as in one of the papers I tried experimenting, I was like, okay, let me just try, reading the study text as if, it's just like a storybook. That's where things changed. Not just I remembered the concepts for longer period, but at the same time I was also able to solve the kit on my own, at least, like at least attempt the questions, at least have the confidence to attempt the questions on my own, even if sometimes, of course, little bit it will be wrong, but it's okay, it's okay, no worries. We are here to learn. So first thing that should be in your mind, step one, is to sorry about this, yeah, step one is to please read the study text. Oh god, what is this? Yeah, just sorry about my handwriting and technical glitches also there in this laptop. So yeah, so read the study text and understand it properly, understand your concepts, brush it up properly, it's okay. And that's pretty much about it. So, you'll start from scratch. Chapter one is just like introduction to published accounts. What is SOFP, SOPL, OCI, all of that is introduction. What should come there? What should come in OCI? What are the rules? Some basic rules. Of course, you can like brush it up and so on. Then the second chapter is about tangible non-current assets. So it, of course, there are lot of questions associated with this. You can't ignore this, especially PPE, intangible. Sorry, not intangible. Intangible is chapter three, but yeah, all these are very important chapters. These are covering every IFRS standard that you will be working with for life. So, guys, this is not just learning for one exam; it is for life. So, guys, you need to do these chapters thoroughly. It's not like, oh my God, it's study text. I have to learn all this. Don't look at it in that way. This is for life. You have to understand this concept for life. You won't be hired in a big four if you don't know these basic things. These are like the basic things you're supposed to know, guys. So, please understand this. Anybody who asks you about revaluation model, about the rules associated with revaluation model, about what do we have to do for when an asset is sold, you have to go and stuff your all your revaluation gains in P&L. All of that you should know. This will be expected out of you, not an interview. This is not about interview. This is about you as an accountant, as a practicing accountant, or as an auditor also. How will you correct somebody else's mistake? How will you audit someone else's mistake if you yourself don't know the IFRS standard, guys? And you will go and check out for jobs in Big Four without even knowing the basic concepts. This is a question mark that you should have in your brain. ACC is not something you're just doing for, okay, I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. You're going to apply these concepts in the future. So please understand, don't buy heart. So guys, all of the illustrations, all of the this what we say, the uh, this thing, test your understandings, everything, do it. Okay, one more thing, if you're not able to do it, maybe maybe you're weak at a concept, you are not sure whether you understood it properly, read through the answers. First you read through the test your understanding answers, understand it, okay, this is this, okay. And then once you get the logic, okay, this was a number extracted from this part of the question, okay, this was like that, then you go and solve it on your own. Okay, that's the best way of learning. Or I would say that's like a loophole type learning. You're trying to learn through answers. That's okay, that's clearly okay. This is your practicing phase, you can do it. But during mock tests, or during practicing the kit for the second and third time, during practicing for past papers, try not to do this. Try to solve. By that time, of course, you might, by the May last 3 weeks, you might be very I may last 3 or may last 2 weeks, you might be good enough with this. You should be good enough with these concepts. That should be your target. So you will be good enough and you will practice it. When you practice it, that time avoid looking at the answers, because that time I believe you would have already done the kit twice, which has all the past papers. So you are done with the kid twice, you know how to answer. You should have even watched the tutor videos for, answering techniques. Okay, this is how we supposed to answer this particular question. You don't have to write 1,000 lines answer for a 2 mark question. 1 mark, one sentence to one, or what we say, one or two solid sentences is enough. You don't have to write, long paragraphs, and never write answers in paragraphs. If you want me to make a separate video on this, answer techniques and all that for whichever papers you want, please do mention in the comments. I'll do that also. No worries. I want you guys to pass very easily. It should be very smooth. It should not be, like taking a toll over your day-to-day life, over your mental health. This is not some rocket science, guys. If you pay attention, you're good to go. Simple. So this is about it. Intangible assets, impairment of assets. Impairment, this is another important topic. In MCQs it is covered, case study it is covered, and then this long answer type also. Sometimes some part of the question, you will be given a PPE. Everything, if you're expected to make a SOFP, statement of financial position, you will be expected to make up the PP schedule in your workings, and you're supposed to show that as well, that this is my land, building, the impairment associated with the carrying value up to certain date. All these dates thing are very much of matter in the FR exam. Dates are very important, because if you don't know when you're supposed to calculate the carrying value, when you're supposed to find out the impairment, from what date the sale took place, whatever took place, all these dates are supposed to be highlighted. You should know that. When you read the question, you're supposed to know, okay, this date, okay, this date this happened, this date this happened. Okay, I'm not saying to learn it. I'm not saying to learn it. Don't learn the dates now. But you should know, okay, this date, this happened. It's also like, storytelling. This thing happened after that. And then after that, when we try to narrate it to someone who, this happened after that. And then he told her this. Then she told him this, like that. So this is the same thing here. The building was bought on this date, and then afterwards it was depreciated for 2 years, and then afterwards in the mid-year this impairment, the fire was caught, then impairment came. Impairment is supposed to be coming, or you never know. You should do the testing. Actually, you should check the recoverable amount and the carrying value. If carrying value is exceeded, only then the impairment is there. That's the basic thing that you should know. Okay, then from this date onwards I should charge the impairment. Then year end I should check if impairment is actually there, like still there or not, or if the recoverable amount has changed, it has exceeded the carrying amount. Some cases it can be like that. How do I know all this? I didn't by heart. I just read the chapter. Simple. I just read the chapter thoroughly, because, and I'm like, I'm preparing myself for all these things. I'm like, okay, this is there. This type of question can also come. You should be skeptical like an auditor. This type of question can also come, then this can also come, then this. Okay, fine. Well and good. I'm prepared. Okay. If this comes, then I'll do it this way. Revise it. Sometimes when you're walking here and there, or you're just chilling here and there, and rather than scrolling reels, I'm not saying don't scroll reels. Sometimes they can be productive as well. But if you are scrolling reels and then you're like, okay, I'm done with my phone, read through all this. What if this building is right in front of me, if any impairment is supposed to be recorded? Okay, how will I do it? Okay, what if this happens at the year end? Year end in India, it is 31st March. Okay, then I would have done it this way. Like that, you revise. This is the best way of revising things, and not even without touching a book, you can revise like that. Genuinely, it helps, guys. It's like training your brain into writing the exam very efficiently, very easily. You read the question, you're like, I know this. I solve this with myself on a daily basis. This is all psychological hacks that will help you smartly prepare for the exam. It's not always about opening the textbook and reading it. So, guys, understand this. And like this, you have to do this. And at the same time, I will also give you the day plan. So first day, of course, you will read through this. You will forget. First step is to forget that you ever failed the exam. Second step is to start reading this and also do the chapter 2, because come on, guys, you have read through this chapter once. Now again, I mean, during your previous attempt, again you do fine, but with a different mindset, of course. And finish it. Finish it, guys. Finish the study text chapter. Finish it off. Don't wait for it. Your target should be, I have to finish it, but at the same time, I have to understand it. Okay, fine. Now, sometimes you will say, okay, Haya, sometimes we have office also, we have other chores also to do. We can't always keep studying like that. I understand. That's also there. That's also there. That's understandable. But when you tell your brain, that I have to understand it plus I have to finish it. That time it starts functioning that way. And when you set up an environment like that, okay, lights on, phone off, throw it away somewhere. These 2 hours are specifically for this. Okay, I'll try my level best to finish it. If not, also it's okay, no pressurizing. Next day, tomorrow in the office, I can try to do it again. Or next day, tomorrow, if I'm going to a coaching institute, I will, in my breaks time, I will, rather than gossiping and all, I'll try to, finish this, revise this, or read this at least. At least read. Okay. Once you're done with the chapter, go simply like scroll over the questions, in the exam kit. Yeah, like MCQs. I'll just solve 1 or 2 MCQs and see how I'll perform. Try. This is just the first attempt of the kit, right? So try. Okay, I have done this chapter. I'll start solving. If I'm wrong, also it's okay. I have got the answers. I've got the explanation in the backside of the book. Why not? Try. Let's try. No problem. Try. Keep trying. Then afterwards, don't go for the long answer. Till then, because long answer might be a bit complicated that time to understand, and it will be very overwhelming for you. You'll be like, how will what is this? It's so tough, and this is what people get wrong. First, they don't do the study text, they don't do test your understandings, they directly switch to exam kit. And when they see the long answer types questions in the exam, they're like, oh, what is this? How will to do this? Our coaching institute. Then they start blaming everyone out there. But no, your strategy itself is not right. You have to start small. That's why we say start small. Then take one step at a time. Only then you can go to the larger step. Why are you simply jumping to the larger step, guys? This has to be changed. This mindset has to change. So this is all about it. So start with the MCQs. Okay. Now fine. Your time. Your okay. You do the MCQs and all. You did here and there. Fine. So let's say you took 1 day for this. 1 day for this, and no, this is not 1 day. These two. Let's say couple it up with 2 days. 18 April is a day when I'm shooting the video, and I'm going to upload it today itself. 18 April. 2 days you did this, and you did some MCQs here and there. It's okay if you didn't complete the MCQs or you were not able to track all. It's okay. If you want me to make a video on that also, which MCQs are relevant for this attempt and not for this chapter, which I can make an exam tracker video. Please do comment for this. It will keep encouraging me, and it will be like, okay, there are people watching my video out there. So guys, please do it. Then 2 days are over. 19, let's say 18 and 19 is over. Uh, or 20, estimate wise, let's just say 18 and 19. This 19 April, this is over. Okay. Then comes 20 April, and this is the day for intangible assets. Okay. Full chapter finish. You should try to aim that. I'll finish this chapter off. If the chapters are small, also try to, then to it's best for you. You have more time to solve the MCQs from the exam kit, right? So you will do intangible assets 20 April with exam kit questions. Just try solving MCQs and all that. And it also has this revaluation model thing and all of that. Similar to tangible only, except that there are some more things like research, R&D and all of that costs. And there are many questions associated to R&D also, if I remember from my attempt. Many questions for that. So try solving them. And there are different scenarios where only expense is supposed to be recorded, or sometimes capitalizing. Only sometimes, if some criteria is there, read through the criteria properly for the capitalization or development, when to capitalize, why to capitalize, and so on. So that in the exam they'll say from what date to capitalize. That's also important. That's why I'm saying dates are very important in this exam. So from what date onwards we'll capitalize and depreciate and all of that. All of this concept should be well and good stuffed in your mind properly. So that's about intangible. Then impairment comes up. Impairment, I told you already a lot about it. I'm seeing the building in front of me. I'm trying to apply this in real life. Okay, how would I impair it on this and this date if this incident happened to it? Like that, you need to do question yourself. So, and be thorough with the concepts about CGU, cash generating unit, and how do we do the impairment testing for like goodwill. Also you should know what are the indicators, and what we say for CGU, which has a lot of assets coupled up in a group, and we are trying to impair and see what is it, because that also is a very regular question where you are expected to find out the impaired value or the impairment. Impaired value means or carrying value after the impairment, and impairment means the expense that we record for impairment. So these are two different things. Again, don't mix up these terminologies and get confused, because in exam they'll try to confuse you. For sure they'll give you both impaired value and impairment expense also in the options. So you should know. You should be like, okay, no, I know my concepts, I know my terminologies. I'm not supposed to do this wrong. Otherwise, simply you will lose an easy mark. For no reason, you will lose an easy mark, which is not right, of course. So this is about it. Let me just see if the recording is still in progress, because I'm always skeptical if it is or not. Yeah, it is. So this is it. This is it. Then comes our non-current assets held for sale and discontinued operations. This is, I think, a small chapter only, but again important. When the sale happened, you can't record depreciation after that date and so on, and what amount you should record the thing in financial position. That is important. Depreciation, impairment associated to it, so whatever it is, we have to be well assured, because it can be coming in long answer type also, in short answer type also. The MCQs, I mean. Then afterwards, the conceptual and regulatory framework. This is, I think, the general thing about conceptual, but you should again be aware, because sometimes certain IFRS standards won't be covering about the regulatory framework. Actually, let's just dive into the chapter and understand. And I didn't mention, 20 April is completely for impairment, and try solving the kit. I believe it can be done in 2 hours if you read it properly, if you forget about phone and all. So I'll just give it one day. Okay, somehow just finish it in one day, or if not, the next day also, in office or whatever work during breaks, when you take breaks, you try to, do it. Or when you come back after taking some rest, you finish it off. So 20 to 21, okay, fine. But I would expect you 21 April, you start chapter 5 as well. I would expect you that. Don't stop with 20 April, this thing. Uh, don't stop with impairment itself there and you'll be like, I'm done. Or whatever is convenient for you. This is just me trying to, ease your schedule. Because for me, like on the same day I used to do it, I used to finish off the chapter, and that helped me to get a lot of time, gain a lot of time in practicing the kit. Because kit is the most important part of the syllabus, most important part of the exam strategy. Sorry. So let's see. Oh, sorry, guys. What happened to this? Yeah. Conceptual framework, conceptual framework. Mm. Yeah, this is a conceptual framework. So if I remember, yeah. No, like here you can expect questions in the MCQs, of course. Like, what is this ISB, IFRS, yeah, these committees, and who is responsible for developing IFRS standards among these committees, and so on. This one also which is a thing, fundamental, qualitative, enhancing, qualitative characteristic. These also, which one is being tested in the question? They can ask this MCQ as well. Now I remember, going concern, going concern, the donation. So this is some going concern thing is there, but more like, if it's tested in the audit exam. But still you should be aware, it's not like you should not be aware. It's technically, you're via FR, you're preparing for two papers, audit as well, and even AAA as well, because AAA is very much reliant on IFRS. And SBR, of course, FR and SBR like mother and daughter and all that. So please understand this. And so yeah, read through these things. I'm not saying learn, but there are some keywords that you will have to remember. For these, then only you can identify which is being tested in the scenario. For example, if it is faithful representation, um not legal form, substance, economic reality, these are some, uh yes, so not only should, and these are the components of the faithful representation, that should also be there. And if any of this is covered, that means it's about faithful representation, so you'll take the faithful representation one. So like that you should be aware, na? Like that you should be aware. So and it is explained in more detail afterwards. The enhancing ones, understandability, verifiability, comparability. Yeah, so these are like these are something that you should read, and you should remember the keywords. And of course, when you try to solve the MCQs, you will be more, the implementation of these concepts will help you remember the keywords. Basically, you are applying that to the scenario. So the more the application, the more your long term memory stores it. So assets liability, yeah, this is also again important. These are oh yes, the definition of this, whether it fulfills the definition of an equity, whether this thing fulfills the definition of the liability, whether this thing fulfills the definition of asset. So this thing can be tested out. And yeah, guys, one more thing, don't ignore definitions. I'm not saying learn it, I'm saying don't ignore definitions. Definitions are important. Why? Because one thing, keywords are there, you can match those keywords with what is given in the scenario and you can answer. Fine, that is one loophole type method that you can use. Another is that if you understand the definitions and the explanations associated to it, only then you can, for example, you forgot the keyword, you don't remember it, but you know the concept, you know what is equity, you know what is liability, you know what is asset. Once you're given that in the scenario, once you're reading the whole scenario, you're able to match your concept with what is there in the scenario and you're able to answer the question. You're able to identify, okay, this one is more, matching. My brain is saying that this is more into equity. So it is equity only, I think. Because everything can't be remembered by us in the exam, or someone who has, uh, someone who can't remember everything, all these definitions, it's okay. Then recognition and all of that is there. Yes, recognition criteria, what stage do we recognize, what stage do we do not recognize, what is the criteria, all this should be aware, you should be aware of all this is like basic things expected out of you. And see, these are the types of, whatever is there in test understanding will come in exam kit. I'm not saying will come in, I mean, these are supposed to, these are something that you should solve, you should do, because this will come in the exam. This is kind of like, preparing you for the past papers and for all the papers out there, for the attempt, because this is how the questions are asked. No doubt, sometimes these are too easy. These are like beginner levels. The actual levels are in the past papers, which are in the kit. So that is one thing. So yeah. So see, this thing, no one will expect you to explain the purpose, but this is again for training your brain. If you don't write have to write this answer, but you can talk it, discuss it out with yourself, with your friend, or with whomever you're studying. You're like, okay, this is the purpose of the framework, I think, yeah, this is how it's done. You don't exactly have to learn the IFRS standard, you can't apply the IFRS standard everywhere. You should try to use conceptual knowledge out of the framework and then apply it to the scenario and blah blah, like that you can say, right? uh so yeah, this is it, and this is how it's going to be tested. You should be aware whether which principle is there, which complete, free from bias, and all of that. Yeah. So it's like this again. This is very basic level. Nobody expects you to answer like that. They will give you a scenario, and in the scenario, what is applicable, that you have to answer. If relevance is applicable, faithful is applicable, or they will say this was something related to materiality. Materiality is under what relevance, so you'll write relevance. So that's why I'm saying these keywords you should know they fall under relevance or faithful representation. It's important. So, guys, this is about conceptual framework. And again, uh, I wouldn't say give one day to it, because although it has some MCQs, a lot of MCQs in the kit, but don't give one day to it. You can also couple it with some other chapter, or let's say measurement. So, oh God, there's one more chapter of it. Mm-hmm. No worries, we'll check it out. Wait, 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 wait. 143, 143. Hmm. Yeah, measurement. So I think it would be about historical, yeah, all of this, and the listed values. Yeah, again, this is about value news also. Yeah, these are covered in under the IFRS standards and all. But the main thing about this is you can expect some questions out of it. What is this? Yeah, this is. I mean, more. This is like this physical capital, operating capital. These are like conceptual knowledge. These are not exactly the IFRS standards, or IFRS standards do cover whatever is there in this conceptual framework. They have their own conceptual, like IAS to inventories, lower of cost, and NRV like that, or PP. This is that is there. But this is more like, uh, you can be expected questions out of this physical and this capital maintenance, and yeah, this is expected because this is not just an IFRS standard. It's much more to it. It's more generalized. In case if IFRS standard is not there, what will you do? And this is more like that. But again, I mean, read through this chapter properly, finish off this chapter, and solve things associated to both of them. Solve associated with them. And then what is this there? Then these other standards. Other standards cover, yeah, IS 8, 10 will also come, I think. 10 is in this or IS 37 chapter. Mm, IFRS 13 is there. Yeah, so these are all the other standards that don't have a separate chapter out there, and you will cover it. Okay. So, guys, thing is, you're supposed to don't miss out any IFRS standard, guys. Don't miss out any IFRS standards. Whether it is other, whether it has a dedicated chapter, whatever it is, you have to do it. There's no choice, or you'll simply lose free marks. And nobody wants to do that. Simply, you don't want to give 2 marks to them. You have to capture it. So I would say 21 April for both of this. Okay. And along with exam kit questions, just scroll, find it out, whatever it is, and uh, then solve it, and yeah, you will get it. These are easy chapters, to be honest. It's not some IFRS standard application and all. It's more conceptual. Then other standards, as I just read, IFRS 8, no, IAS 8, IFRS 13, all these. Again, about IFRS 13 and all, you should be able to decide what fair value to use. They'll be given many fair values in the scenario. What fair value to use from them? Whether I should use a market value, whether I should use most advantageous market, whether I should use a similar assets fair value, whether I should use a estimate, what I should use. You should know. How will you know until you don't read the concept? This is what I'm saying. Application as if in real life. If you would have to buy an asset, what value you would use? For stocks, what value do you use? Market value, right? That is the principal market. That is the concept of principal market. Try to link these concepts with the this thing, your conceptual knowledge about other things, about the news happening, about stocks, about whatever you are interested in. Try to link it, then only you can remember. This is the way of remembering. So guys, you should know these concepts. Then financial assets, liabilities, this is again IFRS 9 and all that. Very important. Very important. I'm not only telling with FR perspective, I'm telling it in future perspective as well. This is covering all this thing, about amortized cost, the different ways of valuing and all. Maybe extensively, it won't be tested extensively. I mean, this will be covered, but in SBR, it is more properly covered. In SBR, you're expected to answer conceptual wise according to logic, according to, uh, you know, of course, in this FR exam, you're expected to cover amortized cost and what you will do, certain date, what interest you will record, what lease liability. Lease liability has a separate chapter, IFRS 16, sorry, but this one, what you will record in the what we say, what is a year-end balance, non-current, current, how will you divide it? All this should be there. This is going to come. If you're making an SOFP, you will be expected to do all this, or convertible debentures you get, or you get convertible loans. How if they don't take the convertible option, then you will take the market interest rate and all of that, and so on. You should be aware of these concepts for sure. Okay, this is there. This is like basic. Okay, fine, well and good. And OCI fair value through, OCI fair value through, PNL or amortized cost. These are basic things that you should be aware of, and don't ignore any part of the chapter. Simple. Then comes chapter 10, foreign currency. So foreign currency, I don't think derivatives are extensive. Derivatives are in SBR, not in this one. But yeah, I mean, don't think about derivatives and all. No, nothing like that is going to be tested here. Then foreign currency. Foreign currency is about the exchange rate differences and all. I think this is a small chapter only. I forgot to mention this. So 21 April you will cover these things. 22 April you will this thing. I will say, why am I saying only one day like for this entirely, this chapter entirely? Because this chapter is sounding small, has some standards, But when you open the exam kit, you will have many questions associated to them, because it is covering many standards. IFRS 13, IS, what was that? Agriculture one, IS 41, then this one, IS 8. All of this will have many questions. So it will take time for you, to be honest. Okay? And it's okay. If you're wrong, also, it's okay. Don't get discouraged and all that. Then comes foreign currency, then again, this has some questions, and again, you should be aware of it. But let's say this will take 2 days for you, because it has new concept, amortized cost and all of that. So 23 and 24 April, I'll dedicate to it along with exam kit. Don't forget that. And if possible, if you feel you are at that level, because different people work different way, their brains work differently. Some people will feel confident easily. Some people will understand the concept easily. They'll be like, okay, I'm just going to practice the long answer type also. No worries. I've done the case study and all of that MCQs. I'll do long answer type also. Fine, do it. No one's stopping you. So for that time, if you're, if you're stuck somewhere, you're not able to understand something. Okay, my charge is getting low. If you're stuck somewhere, you're not able to understand. I'm not going to edit much of this video, guys. So because I've just made it, I'm just going to make it and give it. So forward this part if you want. We're not going to be there for long. So this one, if you have confidence, do long answer type also. And if you're confused somewhere, read through the answer, and try reading the entire scenario, because maybe some part of the scenario will be linked to the other part as well. It can happen. And trial balance should also be read properly, what is included in the trial balance, and according to that only I have to do my question. For example, if one loan interest I'm already finding in my trial balance, how much should I charge now? Should I charge anything also or not? Based on the rule, based on IFRS 9, whatever I know, I will apply accordingly. Right? So these things, that's why I'm saying read through the scenario first, try solving on your own. If not able to, read the answer, understand from there, and then come back to the question and solve it. No worries. Okay. Dedicate your time. But if it is hard for you now, fine. Leave it that time there. Leave it. No problem. No one's asking you to do long answer right now. We will dedicate time for that later. First, other chapters are also necessary, because consolidated is also coming. We have to spend time there as well. So we have to understand the concept for that as well. Then foreign currency, 25 April, let's say 25 April, dedicate time for this, and do all the questions associated to it, and check if any wrong answers are there. This is not like that hard or something, because technically the higher level comes in SBR for this, foreign currency, whatever we'll record gains and all, goodwill, consolidated, all of that will come up. Here it's not that technical, I would say. Then comes 25 April for this, along with kit questions. 26 April, revenue. Revenue has a lot of the contracts. Revenue is, I think, a long chapter, if I remember. Yeah, it's quite long. You can see from the difference of the page numbers itself. Revenue has lot of things to cover. So if you are not able to cover in one day, no worries. Your main focus should be to understand. So let's say I will spend time 26 and 27 April, I will do both, only dedicated to revenue. And guys, meanwhile, based on whatever notes you might have made for these chapters, revise it. Or if you're not making notes, you're not the notes type person, you're just reading and highlighting, and now which all places you will take that fat study text with you. Or if you're taking laptop, that's a different thing. But anyways, if you don't want to read those big chapters, you can use the flashcards in ACCA Study Hub. They are very useful. Or you even Open Tuition is there. Everywhere there's flashcards are like there everywhere. Yeah, pre-flashcards are being generated everywhere. So you can use these sources, and they're helpful generally. You can revise a concept like that if in between. So it's not like you're just reading a chapter and solving the questions and you're forgetting it. Right? You should understand it. And in between, sometimes if you recall, okay, I was weak in that concept. I think I should read through that again, and I think I should revise that again. For example, I was weak in loan and the convertible loan calculation and all. I don't know if I'm good at it. I can do it. Uh, if I'm asked to do it again, should I read through that again? Okay, I'll read through that again in my break. It's okay. You can do it. No one's stopping you. Do it. Read through the answer again. If you get time to solve again. No worries. Then come back to revenue. Then come back to whatever chapter you're doing at present. It's okay. But you should be smart enough to dedicate time to what you have previously learned as well, and what you're learning now as well. because our point is to finish the study text with proper conceptual understanding. So revenue is there, revenue 26, 27 April. Let's just go through revenue chapter. I mean, like, I'll help you brush up, or at least like what all I should be there. So 229. Mm, 229, 229. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah. Five-step approach. Again, illustration is given to you. You can apply in the scenario and learn more, because here it's a proper computer company, it seems. Yeah, selling computers and all that with technical support. What you will do, you can apply your five-step scenario. And what we'll do is, it is explaining you step by step everything basically, and it is also giving you illustrations for each step and test your understandings as well. So such a good way of learning a chapter. I mean, seriously, you're applying as well and you're learning as well. This is the best way of learning something. Consignment inventory, yeah, this is sometimes we can expect something out of it, or even in long answer type we can expect something out of it. Sometimes in the trial balance they might have recorded wrong amount of revenue, extra revenue than required in this year. What you will do that in that scenario? Sometimes you're just an agent, you're not particularly selling these cars, you're just storing it with you and then selling it. It is actually belonging to someone. So how much you'll record a commission, or you'll record the revenue that is out of the sale. You should know this thing also. And again, this is more properly tested in SBR exam, to be honest. Then repurchase agreements, yeah, sale and repurchase, bill and hold. Yeah, bill and hold is, I think that's what I was talking about now. Bills the customer. No, this is not bill and, no, bill and hold is holding it for the customer. Sorry, my bad. Substance over form, satisfying a performance obligation over time, and contract costs. Yeah, contract is important chapter, because sometimes your revenue is unbilled. You're not you have not fulfilled, or you're recording it only up to the time, up to how many costs are incurred, or how much percentage of work has been completed. So how will you record that in your what will you record in contract liability, or is it a contract asset? I think that is also having some steps to follow. See, step 1, step 2, yeah, step 3, step 4, all of this, what you'll record in SOFP, this should be there in your mind. You should know all this for sure. Again, this also will be asked, MCQs for this input output method. How much should be recorded if you are following this method, or if you're following this method. In MCQs, it can be asked. And yeah, I mean, again, test your understandings for your practice and you're done. So I would say give 2 days to it properly. Do your tested understandings, do each of them, apply the concept, and go ahead with the kit then. And it's okay if the MCQs of the kit are not done, it's okay. Then how much ever you're able to do, try, try allocating time to that. But if you're not able to finish it, it's okay, fine. We'll shift to the next chapter, because we will dedicate time for that. Where is exam kit? Oh god, where did the contents page go? Yeah, it's here. So we are done 26, 27. Then comes 28 April, leases. Yeah, spend whole day. I mean, is it a big chapter? It's like 20 pages. Yeah, fine. You can spend, because leases has a lot of questions, MCQs, long answer type, test your understandings, illustrations, all of this will be there. So spend 28 April leases. Taxation 29 April. So 29 April, let's just dedicate the time. Taxation will have some new concepts, maybe, or maybe you might have already covered that in TX exam to some extent. I don't know. But whatever it is, just do this 29 April. Entire thing should be dedicated to tax, deferred tax, in the PNL, over under provision, uh, long answer type also. Long answer type, it actually tax questions are simple, because you're not expected to do some big working or something, or like it's basic level. So if you try doing long answer type, it would be good actually. So try both this, dedicate entire 29 April for that. Then EPS, again, it is quite large. So what is covered? 30 April. Let's just dive into this and understand this further. 313. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. EPS, 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 EPS. Hmm. Oh, what does this chapter cover? Okay, it's mainly about, speaking of EPS, we can expect questions associated to this thing. Why it is not coming down? Sorry, guys, my computer glitches are quite high now. Theoretics, these things, what we say, the bonus shares, EPS after more shares issue, all of this will be expected out of us in the MCQ section. And of course, this is something that you should be aware of for, rest of the exams as well. Like uh, mainly it is tested in this paper only, but still you should know about it for the other papers, the SBR level as well, and even for audit exam, because you might be expected to, you know, not audit exam much, but yeah, it's more of an FR topic. Yeah. So you should be aware of this topic in short. Because in news also, if you want to assess something, if there's a rights issue, if you want to assess the effect on the share price, after the rights issue, you can, do that. Real time application and all that. So it's nothing hard, but you should know this concept in short. And you have to restate the EPS of the prior year and what will be the effect on the prior year EPS. That all you should know. What to do for this. You can see that it is a reciprocal. Last year EPS 50. Restated EPS would be the reciprocal of which one 2.5. Yeah, reciprocal of this bonus fraction, as you can see here. So you should know this basically. And then what is the effect on of more share issue, diluted EPS. Then if you have to make an assessment, you can even calculate EPS and diluted EPS, compare them, see the effect on that, and find out if it is going to be favorable for the investors. This is actually an SBL topic as well. It could be an SBL topic as well. So you never know, which is good. And even AFM topic, because they would want to know if financing using shares issue is a good thing or not. So, and this is a convertible shares topic which I was talking about. It was not in financial assets and liabilities. It is there as well, but here it is more like what will be the effect of convertible instruments on EPS. It's more specific to that. So this is all, guys. You should know every part of this chapter as well. This is, don't take it any less seriously, and topics will be tested out of this also. And based on the length of the chapter, importance of EPS, limitations of EPS. Although this is just theory topics, but still you should know this for the future exams as well. It's not just limited to that. As I just said, SBL, AFM, all this can also, in all these exams also, it can be used. So this is the thing, guys. There are, again, I'll give it one day. Okay. So I would say, what was the date, last date that I'd given? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 26, is it? Yep. No, my bad. 30 April. 30 April I had given last for this. And so we are done with this. Then IAS 37, IAS 10. This is very important. And this is not only important for FR, but for AA, for AAA, for SBR, for SBL. Usually it is FRA mainly, because this topic will be tested in AA also. Much of, like, what provision should be recorded, whether contingent liability should be disclosed, whether it's an event after the reporting period, it should be adjusted here or not. All of this you should know. So again, I would say, including exam kit questions, 1st May for this specifically. Okay. Then statement of cash flows. Is it associated with anything? Yeah, again, between revisions again and again, well and good. Statement of cash flows, again, this is actually, we are supposed to, many people ignore this chapter, thinking that this is not likely to be tested. Maybe it will, exams are not, surrounding these papers, and there are very few past papers that do test cash flows. But I'll tell you my scenario. What happened during my exam is that, there were three tests, I think. Sorry, there were three sets for my exam, and of course different people around me got different sets. And the ones who were writing on the same date as me, but of course in a different exam center, they had got cash flow question. And because they didn't take it seriously, they couldn't write it. They couldn't attempt it, right? Because we are expected to make at least one financial statement, and they couldn't make the statement of cash flows because they didn't take it less seriously. They didn't take it seriously at all, guys. So this is a thing you should be aware of this topic as well. In my scenario, in my view, you should be aware of statement of cash flows and how to make it. And especially if you're making a future in accounting, of course, you should know how to make this financial statement. You can't ignore all of this. You will be expected to make SOPL, SOFP, statement of changes in equity, cash flow statement, everything. No one's going to say, hey, you didn't learn that because you didn't do the questions. So you didn't learn cash flows. So you don't need to make the cash flow statement. No one's going to say you that, right? You have to be prepared for the future. So again, I would say, since it's got many adjustments, since it's got many T accounts to make or many workings to make, maybe it might be new for you, if you, especially if you didn't do that in 12th class accounts, and so on. I would say, again, give it a day. 2nd May, give it a day. And I don't think there are many questions for this in the exam kit as well, but whatever is there, you do it. Whatever is there, you do it. MCQs and long answer type also, I would suggest, because uh, it's good if you start practicing that now itself, like together with the concepts learned, because these concepts, I don't say the same thing long answer types for others, because others can wait, but this one, I would say, these have some more advanced topics. Maybe, as I said, 12th class you might have not learned it, so it's better you start preparing for it. Then, of course, start preparing for it alongside with the exam kit. Long answer type, and short answer type, both. Short answer is like definitely necessary for all. Like, I'm not giving any exception for that. Like, try to complete it. If not, it's okay. But for cash flows, I would say try to finish it off, because there are not many, right? Then principles of consolidated financial statements. These are, I think, mainly about the principles surrounding it, the workings, and the it's like giving an introduction of consolidated. What should be there, what should not be there, what should be applied. So it's a good thing if you read it, because many people are weak in the consolidated financial statements area. They're mainly weak in that. So I would say read through every introduction, everything out there. So again, I would say couple it with this 423 to 437. It's not that much because it's just introduction. So I would say couple it with this. So 3rd May, you will do this. Okay. Now for consolidated, I would say you might find difficulties for sure, because you have never done consolidated for sure. I can say you with guarantee you've not done it in prior, in the prior exams and all that. Of course, fine, well and good. So you will give it some time. If it takes 2 3 days also, it's okay. So here I would say, in our case, let's take this as well. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th also, if you take, okay, fine. So let's say this is till 6th May. You are taking full time for exam kit, along with exam kit questions, but only MCQs. And at the same time, all the test your understandings and all the illustrations and all the, what we say, associated to making the financial statement from scratch, you should do from the study text, not exam kit. I'm not saying exam kit, I'm saying study text. Do that. 3rd to 6th May should be only consolidated financial statements, nothing else. So I'm giving you like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 4 days for that. 4 days are specifically for consolidation, nothing else. Nothing else you think about. So please, guys, because there's many new workings, there are many notes you have to make, working note 1 to 5, whatever notes you have to, you keep a note for that, because it's something that you should remember. It is supposed to be followed for sure. For a statement of financial position, you have to make those 5 working notes. For NCI, for group retained earnings, for working note 2 of adjustments to be made, while we acquire fair value of assets and liabilities, goodwill working, how much percentage you have acquired that working, how much percentage parent has in the subsidiary that working, at least show. Then, sometimes what happens, after a certain date, they might have, sold it. That also you should show in the first working. All this you should know. All this you should know, and make notes for this, please, so that you can keep revising it in case if you forget it. Please just make notes for this. Don't ignore this. Then associates, this is about investment associates, how will we treat in a PNL, how will we treat in SOFP, what one line item we should include. Again, it is fine. You can do you can do questions for this MCQs. Okay, don't do exam kit long answer type. Although this will be clubbed with, usually with consolidated financial statements, but it's better you thoroughly go through this. This is also, I think, is it a small, like, Small chapter only, not like that small, but there are many things to consider. So please, guys, MCQs you do, and all the study text questions. Okay, all the study text questions. Okay, so entire, I would say 7th, 8th, no, 7th May for this, for associates. Please, associates, investment in associates. That's another chapter which is important because there are questions expected there also. MCQs of exam kit, study text, all test your understandings. Full, done. Full concept also done. Make notes also. Keep revising also. I can't keep repeating this. You should understand this once for all. Then 21 group disposals. This is, I think, a small chapter only because this has some workings only, like group disposals. So, but it can be clubbed with the consolidated statement. You know, you are acquiring on one date and then you have sold it on certain date, or you can just have an MCQ for this or something. What would be the profit and loss for the group disposal? So, I would say, mm, let's just keep this for 8th May. We can keep this for 8th May along with all exam kit questions, MCQs. But at the same time, uh, please club it along. Please club some revisions of the prior chapters as well. You know, there are other chapters as well, which we can't ignore. All of this, please just do that as well. So guys, this is it. Then 8th May, this is what we will do. And it's a small chapter, so you can do it. Then interpretation of financial statements. This is specifically about ratio analysis and, how to write down the answers. I would say you do the ratio analysis. You read through the entire chapter properly, understand all ratios. All ratios should be in your head. Make notes for all the ratios because you might end up forgetting. Maybe this is the first time you're noticing this, or maybe if you didn't have 12th class commerce, you didn't know about ratio analysis. This is new for you for sure. So I would say this topic is important. This topic is going to be tested. And if you want to see the approach, of course, look into the examiners' videos and how they want you, how they solve it. Tashvita Gupta's video is also there for solving this. Many examiners have covered, not just one. And it does not have to be as long as the exam kit answers. Exam kit has very elaborated answer for the analysis. You can take ideas from there. You can understand it. You can read it like a story, but the main point is you only write 50% of that answer. No one's expecting you to write whole exam kit answer. It is just that 100 to 150% level answer, which we don't need 150. We just need a good answer, which is going to help us give marks. So I don't think you really need to go for the entire exam kit answer. Just read through, understand, and then try writing in your own words. So here MCQs are okay. You can, do it fine. But main thing I would say long answer type. Long answer type, you focus exam kit. And you do test your understandings also, of course, illustrations and all. That is, of course, included in the chapter. So I would say since it is new, 8th and 9th May for this specifically, this thing should be dedicated to interpretation. Then this is what is this last two? I've never really done this because after that I used to go to the exam kit. So let's check it out. 639. Uh, yeah, so this is just merely about, I just checked it, guys. So this is some extra questions for financial statements making and, all of that. But assuming that you have less time available, I would say directly switch to the kit. I never did these, to be honest. Okay. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying just, consider exam kit first and then go for it. Okay. What has happened, guys, is that I have had to refresh this thing. 1 minute. Which is why the entire thing has gone. I had to refresh this page. So, guys, apologies for this, but my computer has some glitches. But you can just revert back and see the dates and all. I've already given you. And now I think May 9 was the last date I gave. After that, your point directly next day onwards, from the first question, start your exam kit. Start the objective case questions. Let me just open the exam kit. That would be better. Where is it? Where is it? You guys, you can just forward this part, okay? I'm not editing it much. Would say finish off the MCQs, okay? But after doing considerable number of MCQs, whatever is in your capacity, give time for the exam kit long answer type. These constructed response questions because it's very important that you practice the financial statements and analysis as well. So it's like you do like 20 questions of MCQs and like this much, and then afterwards you switch to some of the long answer types, then again another 20, then again long answer types. It should be like that, you know. Pattern should be like that. Basically what I'm trying to say is somehow you should finish off this entire exam kit in 1 week. Give yourself 1 week time. So let's say uh, 16. By 16th, once the entire thing should be done. Okay, by 16th or 17th, one revision should be done of the exam kit where you are allowed to make mistakes, you're allowed to learn from them, you're allowed to look into the answers, you're allowed to, you know, find out, okay, where you're wrong, where you're possibly lagging behind, maybe do some revision again of the concept or from the study text, go back, revert back, revise your notes, all of this. Trial and error is okay. Completely okay. One revision is done. At least you're aware, okay, now that this is how I'm supposed to write my answers and this is how I'm supposed to do. And please make sure your practice should not consist of the entire exam kit answer, the entire long answer. It should be just 50% of that. It's enough, more than enough. And don't write in big paragraphs. Just write in two sentences each. And don't put bullets at all, please. So you are done, right? And then afterwards, yes, this is the approach you follow. Then second week again go for practicing this. Maybe again focus on long answer types. You know, you have to increase the speed of the long answer types. So what some people do, they finish the long answer type first and then go for the short answer types, right? So you in the exam I'm saying they finish long answer, they finish those big questions, and then they come for the shorter ones. I also did that. That's actually a good time saver and a good strategy. But whatever is comfortable according to your capacity, you do that. So you did. So you guys did that second time. Okay, let's say it is up to 25 May. Okay, then again do. Then look into the webinars of YouTube. I'll share the link possibly, and please stay tuned to my LinkedIn as well. There are these webinars out there which keep coming out of various exam teachers, and like Tashwita also does a long session few days before the exam, all revision of IFRS standards and all that. If you don't have time for that, just practice, keep practicing, see where. Okay, one more thing that I have to suggest is you can see that there are some examiners comments. Okay, this has some exam questions. See, this is just exam questions are there. See, you can see that these examiner comments are there. ACCA marking guide is given to you, how they'll mark the 5 marks. Okay. And at the same time, this one, examiner's report extract. You don't even have to go separately from the website, check examiner's report for FR. Here, right in the kit, your examiner's reports are printed. You don't even have to do anything. Everything is there in this kit. It's not like I'm promoting the kit or I'm some ambassador of Kaplan or something. I'm genuinely saying utilize the kit properly, guys. Please listen to me. You can see here, you can learn from others' mistakes, weaker candidates, what they have done. They have provided a commentary which was consistent with a year-on-year analysis rather than providing an explanation between the potential difference between this and this. I mean, you have not, maybe it was more of a comparison of the answer that they expected was comparison of this with the sector or with the competitors, but they have done a year-on-year analysis, which means they have compared with the last years and all. No, so you have to adjust it according to the scenario. So here you will learn from the mistakes that other people did, right? So please make a note of this, read these things, and if you're doubtful in the first attempt of the past papers, read through the answers first, understand them first. If any doubts, you can even contact me on LinkedIn. You can put comments in this video. You can contact me on Insta as well. Whatever is your choice, I'll post the links here in the description. Please do check out. And for more such videos or for any topics which are very, very, very difficult for you guys, which you really want to decode, you want a decoding video for that, please comment below. No one's stopping you to comment or text me wherever you want. Please just tell me, guys. I won't get to know just like that. You have to tell me that, okay, this video is very sorry, this topic is very bad. I'm very bad at this. I really want you to grab a video on this topic and explain me out. I'm there for you. No worries. So let's get this done together, and signing off now. I think it's too long now, but if you find some parts quite long or something, or if you find them boring or something, you can increase the speed as well, and if not, forward it, skip to the correct part, because sometimes I have it's taken time to open the file, so that's why. Whatever it is, okay, bye guys. Hope you have a good day, and best of luck for the exam. Cheers. And please even register for your exam, and otherwise the seats will get full and all your halls will get booked. So please make sure that you're doing that correctly. Okay, bye guys.